My girlfriend sleepwalks. Or at least, I thought that's what it was, until I caught her standing by our bed at 2:14 a.m., whispering in a voice that wasn't hers. She said my name, but when I showed her the footage, she swore it wasn't her voice. And then, I saw myself on camera, talking back. I live with my girlfriend Chloe. We've been together for 3 years now. Nothing dramatic, no big fights, no haunted houses, no cursed objects, just normal life. We moved into this apartment about 8 months ago, a 1-bedroom on the 3rd floor, big windows, quiet street. Chloe liked the light in the mornings, and I liked the way she looked in it. Simple. She works in marketing. I'm a freelance designer. Our routines are stable, boring in the best way. Coffee at 9, shared playlists, dinner at the kitchen counter. Sometimes we argue about which show to binge. That's the worst of it. So when I tell you what happened, I need you to understand. There was no reason to expect anything strange. A few weeks ago, I started noticing small things. It started with the fridge door. I'd wake up around 2 or 3 a.m., walk into the kitchen to get water, and the fridge light would be on, wide open, cold air spilling out. At first, I thought it was me. Maybe I forgot to close it, but then it happened again, and again, 4 nights in a row. Then one night, I woke up and saw her, Chloe, standing by the living room window, not doing anything, just standing there, staring into the dark. I asked her if she was okay, but she didn't answer. Her breathing was steady, eyes open but empty. Eventually, she turned around, walked past me without a word, and went back to bed. I followed her, watched her get under the blanket and close her eyes like nothing happened. She was asleep again in seconds. In the morning, I told her what I saw. She laughed, a little confused, a little weirded out. "Maybe I was dreaming," she said, "or maybe you were." But I wasn't. A couple nights later, it was the hallway. I found her standing at the end of it, facing the wall, completely still. I didn't want to scare her, so I spoke softly. "Chloe?" She didn't react, didn't even blink. Eventually, she just turned and walked away. Same pattern. No memory in the morning, no concern. She brushed it off like it was nothing. I looked it up online. Sleepwalking, everything fit. Stress, exhaustion, subconscious habits. Made sense, right? People do weird stuff in their sleep all the time. I figured it would pass, and for a while, I stopped thinking about it. But there was one night, a single moment, that changed everything. And after that, I couldn't look at her the same way again. There was one night, a single moment, that changed everything. At the time, I still believed it was just stress. Maybe her mind was processing something I didn't understand. I didn't know I was about to see something. That wasn't hers at all. It happened on a Thursday night. I remember because I'd worked late and went to bed exhausted. One of those nights where your body just gives up. I fell asleep the moment my head hit the pillow, and then I woke up. No sound, no movement, just this feeling, like the air in the room had changed, like something was watching me. I blinked. The room was dark except for the faint orange glow of the streetlights bleeding through the curtains. I turned my head, and there she was, Chloe, standing right next to the bed, still, barefoot, wearing the same old t-shirt she sleeps in. Her arms just hung at her sides, her face blank, and she was staring at me, eyes wide open. I didn't move at first. I wasn't sure if I was dreaming, but I felt that cold, prickling tension in my chest, the kind you don't get in dreams. "Chloe?" I whispered. She didn't respond, didn't flinch, didn't even blink, just kept staring. I sat up a little. "Hey," I said louder this time. "Are you okay?" She tilted her head slightly, like she was listening to something else. And then without a word, she turned and walked out of the room. Slow, mechanical, back down the hallway. I waited, listened, nothing. I got out of bed and followed. She was already lying down when I reached the bedroom, asleep, or pretending to be. I stood there for a long time, just watching her, trying to understand what I'd just seen. In the morning, I asked if she remembered anything. She looked at me like I was making it up. "No. Why? Did I say something?" "No," I said. "You just stood there, watching me." She laughed. "Creepy," she said, still half asleep, sipping her tea. But she wasn't concerned. Not really, I was though. Because that wasn't sleepwalking. Sleepwalkers don't stare like that. They don't move like that, like puppets with no strings left. So that day I bought a small camera. Nothing fancy, just enough to see the bed at night. Just for peace of mind, I told myself, just to prove I'm not crazy. I set it up that evening, plugged it in, checked the angle, and that night, I went to sleep knowing something was watching her too. I just didn't know what I was hoping to see or what I was hoping not to. I didn't know what I was expecting. Part of me hoped the camera would prove I was just being paranoid, that all of it, the staring, the silence, the stillness, was something my brain invented in the dark. But deep down, I think I knew. Something was coming. I just didn't think it would talk back. The first few nights, nothing happened. I watched the footage the next morning. Just Chloe, curled up under the blanket, barely moving. I fast-forwarded through hours of stillness. It was almost disappointing, almost reassuring. The second night, same. Third, fourth, normal. I even started to wonder if I'd imagined everything. Maybe I wanted to find something strange. Maybe the sleepwalking really was harmless. But on the fifth night, that changed. I woke up around 7. Routine. Poured myself a coffee, sat at my desk, opened the footage. Just curious. I skipped ahead to 2 a.m., like I'd done every morning that week. Nothing. And then, at 2:14, she enters the frame. From the left side, quiet, slow, barefoot again, same shirt, hair hanging loose around her face. She walks straight up to the side of the bed, to my side, and stands there. Just stands. I watched, frozen. She didn't move, didn't touch anything, didn't even blink. She stood over me for 10 minutes. I fast-forwarded once, then slowed it back down. At 2:24, she leans in, her face inches from mine, and then she whispers something. I turned up the volume, and what I heard made my skin go cold. "You're not him?" But it wasn't Chloe's voice, not even close. It was deep, low, male, measured, confident, like someone sure of what they were saying. It didn't belong in her mouth. I felt a jolt of nausea, like I was watching something I wasn't supposed to see. I replayed it. Again. Trying to convince myself it was some trick of audio, distortion, static, anything. But it wasn't. It was someone else speaking through her, and it was directed at me. I waited until she woke up that morning, waited until she smiled and kissed me like nothing was wrong. Then I asked if she remembered anything. She shook her head. I showed her the clip, and I watched the color drain from her face. She didn't blink, didn't speak at first. When she finally did, her voice was small, shaken. "That's not me," she said. "I swear to God, that's not my voice. I didn't say that." She looked scared, genuinely scared, like something was crawling just under her skin. I wanted to believe her. I still do. But that night, I started locking our bedroom door from the inside. After that night, I couldn't stop thinking about the voice. It wasn't just that it sounded wrong, it felt like it knew me. Like whoever, whatever, was speaking through her wasn't done yet. So I kept watching. Every night, it got worse. After that fifth night, I couldn't stop watching. It became a routine. Wake up, check the footage. And every morning, I'd find something a little more wrong. At first, it was just the standing. Then she started whispering again. But this time, not just one line. She'd stand by the bed or in the hallway, or sometimes in the corner of the room, where the shadows swallow the edges of her face, and she'd talk to no one, or to someone I couldn't see. The voice was always different, sometimes low, sometimes almost playful, but never hers. I started writing the words down, phrases that repeated, sentences that made no sense, and yet felt intentional. One night I heard, "He doesn't know yet." The next night, "No, not tonight." Another, "We still need him." We. That word stuck with me. We still need him. Who is we? Who needs me? And for what? During the day, Chloe acted like herself, mostly, but little things started to slip. Tiny, subtle fractures. She used to hate black coffee, said it was bitter and gross. Now she drinks it every morning. No milk, no sugar. She used to sing while cooking, little songs, dumb jokes. Now she's silent, focused, robotic. And her speech, there was this one sentence, something about my deadlines. She said it the same way, 3 mornings in a row, word for word, same tone, same pause, like she was reading a script. I didn't say anything, didn't want to scare her, but inside I was unraveling. Every time I looked at her, I wondered if it was still her looking back. She'd smile, kiss me on the cheek, ask about my day. But sometimes, not always, but enough to notice, her eyes didn't match her mouth, like her smile was just a trick her face had learned, like she was practicing being Chloe. I stopped sleeping well. I kept waking up at 2:14, even when I didn't want to, even when the camera was off. Something about that time, it felt like a signal, like the house was holding its breath, waiting for her to move, waiting for me to notice. I didn't know what was happening to her. I didn't know what was happening to us. But I knew one thing, she wasn't sleepwalking anymore. I stopped feeling like I was living with her. It started to feel more like I was living next to something, wearing her face. Watching the footage wasn't enough anymore. I needed to see it happen. Not in the morning, not on a screen, in real time, with my own eyes. I couldn't take it anymore. The videos were starting to feel like a delay, like watching a horror movie of something that had already happened. To me, too late to stop it, too late to change anything. I needed to see it, really see it, not through a screen, not pixelated or distant. So I made a decision. I wouldn't sleep. I didn't tell Chloe, just drank coffee through the day, napped lightly in the afternoon. That night I got into bed like normal. Let her fall asleep first. She always went first lately, fast, too fast. I kept my breathing slow, my eyes mostly closed, but my mind wide open. The room was still, quiet, except for the soft hum of the fridge down the hall, the occasional car outside. And then, the clock hit 2:14. I didn't hear her footsteps, but I felt something change. Like the air shifted again, heavy, dense. I opened my eyes a crack. She was there, standing right beside the bed, backlit by the hallway light. Just like in the videos, her face emotionless, her arms limp, her mouth slightly open. I stayed still, barely breathing, and then she spoke. Not loud, not whispered, just calm, measured. "You're close now. One more night." I felt every hair on my body rise. I sat up, fast, and turned on the lamp beside me. Light filled the room. Chloe didn't flinch. She blinked, then turned, and calmly walked to her side of the bed. She lay down, closed her eyes, and within seconds, she was asleep, or pretending. I wasn't sure anymore. My hands were shaking. I grabbed the camera, plugged it into my laptop, skipped ahead to the same moment I had just lived. I needed to see it again. I needed to know if I'd imagined it. But what I found on that footage wasn't what I'd expected. It was worse. I thought seeing it live would help, that maybe if I caught her in the act, if I broke the illusion, it would stop. But all it did was make me more afraid. Because when I looked into her eyes that night, and she didn't flinch, I realized something. She wasn't hiding it anymore. So I checked the footage one last time, and what I saw wasn't just her. The footage started the same way. Chloe enters the frame at 2:14. She moves like before, slow, detached, stops next to the bed, looks down at me. She stands there for a while, longer than usual. I watch the timestamp tick. 2:17, 2:21, 2:24. Then she starts talking. Same tone. That voice again. Low, masculine, wrong. But this time it's more than just one line. It's a conversation. She speaks, then pauses, as if waiting for a reply. But no one's there. Just her and me, sleeping. Except at 2:26, I watch myself. I open my eyes, still lying flat, still motionless. But my eyes are open, staring at the ceiling. And then I speak. Same voice, same calm, quiet confidence. No emotion, no hesitation. "He'll remember soon. Then we can leave." I don't move, not even my face, but my lips form every word perfectly. I watched that part 5 times, 10. I don't remember saying anything. I don't remember waking up. But there I was and talking. With her, with, whatever she was. And as soon as that line ends, Chloe turns, walks away, out of frame. The recording ends at 2:28, but the file keeps going. A few seconds of black screen, no movement, no audio, just digital silence. And then for less than a second, barely long enough to register, the image returns. It's the bedroom, lit only by moonlight, static, frozen. But now, there are 2 figures, sitting at the foot of the bed, dark, still, facing the camera, watching me, watching us, and then gone, back to black. I rewound it, paused, frame by frame. They were real. I saw them, not Chloe, not me, something else. And I think they knew I'd be watching. I haven't turned the camera back on since. I don't know if Chloe still gets up at 2:14. I don't want to know.